Woo-wee, it is definitely a hot one out here today. Man, as summer's here, you can't deny it, but let's just take a look around the garden and see what's growing anyway. Lots of blooms. Shasta Daisy is still in blooms. The Lavaterra, that first flower that you saw at the beginning of this video, is here. I really like these Shasta Daisies. This is the first year for their blooms. They are just so cute and petite. Our Scabiosa flowers are almost finished. They've been rained on and they're falling over everywhere, and they are just a big tangled up mess. All the stems are tangled up with each other. The bees love them, but honestly, I am ready to pull these out and get these out of the garden, get these out of the way, because they have taken so long to begin blooming. They're kind of just taking up space, and I've got to move this stuff out and get other things planted. We've got stuff to do. I know I've been talking about catching up with everything for so long now, but really just a lot to get, the garden settled for the summer. In this video, in the main kind of middle portion of this video, you are going to see a lot of footage of my Statice. This is the Pastel Shades Mix Statice. I originally ordered a pack of these seeds from Floret, and, there weren't very many seeds in there, honestly, and I was just like, I am going to need more Statice than this. So I was browsing through the GeoSeed catalog, and as it would turn out, they had a Statice mix called Pastel Shades. So I ordered it and planted it next to my Floret shades, and lo and behold, you really can't tell too much of a difference. You can see that this mix is beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. Most of the flowers in this mix are these lovely shades of just soft lavender, very soft purples. There are a few outliers in the mix. You can see that there are a couple dark shades of purple, but those are very rare. Those are very few and far between. Most of these are just these beautiful shades of soft purple. So pretty. Love them. A couple very light pinks in there as well, but again, that was just kind of seemed like the outlier in terms of color patterns for these. So I was eager to pick a big bucket of these. If you've grown Statice before, the blooms are kind of papery. They, they last a very long time in the garden. And not only that, long vase life too. Not only that though, they can be dried and used in dry flower arrangements and preserved. And they are just so gorgeous. There are so many good things I can say about these. Hopefully sometime in the future I'll be able to make a video detailing more about how I grew these. If you guys would like that. I believe technically this one is a hardy annual, but I kind of treat it as a spring planting. Either way, moving on, we picked a big vase of our Shasta Daisies. And boy, oh boy, you can tell that it's hot out here. That is just a vase that I filled up with tap water, and I brought it outside, and you can see the condensation all over it. The bad thing about these Shasta Daisies is that they are prone to insect damage. You can tell that even if they get rained on once, the petals start looking kind of dirty and dingy, which I'm not a fan of. Also wanted to pick a big bunch of these Scabiosa. These Scabiosa are just this beautiful kind of lavender, pale blue color. I thought that they would pair really, really nicely with the lavender kind of pale purple shades of our Statice. So that's what we're going with for this arrangement to see what we can work with here. Overall, I just love how fluffy and I don't know, these flowers are. They are majorly attractive to the bees. You'll see a little bit later. So here's our color palette that we are working with. Overall, just lots of different blooms. We have kind of a smaller filler. We have a kind of focal flower with the daisy. And we have a big poofy flower with a Scabiosa. I didn't use any filler, no mint or anything. I think this turned out really, really lovely. As I was trying to take the pictures of these bumblebees would not leave this flower arrangement alone. I ended up leaving this one outside for a little bit, and it seemed like every time I came outside to, pick it up and bring it inside, that there were maybe 2 or 3 bumblebees on it, which was kind of annoying, but at the same time, it's kind of cool. Because, I like to have pollinators, obviously. That's one thing I've noticed in growing cut flower gardens is I have so many more pollinators than I used to have here in the yard. Seriously, so many more. Back when I only grew a vegetable garden, I would see maybe, a few bees here and there. But now that I have made the switch over to all flowers, sometimes some days there's it's difficult to walk around without bees being everywhere. Next arrangement, these are kind of some forgotten arrangements that I think did not make it into any of the videos. Here we have the blue salvia, we have some mint and some canterbury bells and some of those volunteer larkspur. Basically what happened is my computer crashed. I was unable to run a camera. All kinds of things just went totally awry. There's some bells of Ireland in here also. Everything just went terrible. Somebody helped me recover my files on my old computer, and they were kind enough to edit this video for me. So I'm fairly certain that I have not posted this arrangement before, but if I have, if you've seen this one before, I am so sorry, but I'm just trying to get caught up because I'm at this stage where I'm doing so much for work, and I'm just overwhelmed, honestly. I'm trying to keep up the channel. I'm very overwhelmed. Anyway, I think this arrangement turned out beautiful. You may have seen this one on Instagram several weeks ago. Just those shades of blue and the kind of lavender in the Canterbury bells are so pretty. I really, really like this one. This one feels put together and nice. I love the cool tones mixed with that light green color. I don't know what it is about the bells of Ireland and that shade of green, but it really, really has the ability to pull things together, I think. Overall, I think this one turned out really, really nicely. Next, we have another flower arrangement, which you may or may not have seen, so I'm sorry if you have, but this is, I started out with the sweet pea variety called watermelon. As you can see, the blooms are this soft shade of light pink, very pretty, and we went with some pansies. These pansies are from the Victorian Posy mix. It's just a wide range of colors, but I had a lot of this color, and I thought this color is adorable. I love, you know, the kind of purple petals in the background and the white forward petals, I guess is how you would explain it. Anyway, this just went together so well with a little bit of mint and some mulberry branches. That's it. Look how cute. Oh, so stinking cute. I did have a couple little pieces of the bells of Ireland in there as well, some of the shorter stems of the bells of Ireland. But this is just a tiny little teeny tiny jam jar, and I really love how this one came out. The pansies were able to reach the water. It seems the longer the season went on, the longer the stems of the pansies got. So even though the stems of our pansies were really short early in the spring, by the time by the time early summer finally arrived, those plants were nice and tall. And basically what I was doing is almost cutting back the entire plant to use it as cut flowers, which, you know, by summer, that's fine. Last but certainly not least, in this video we have more of the Madam Butterfly Snapdragons. This variety specifically is the red Madam Butterfly Snapdragon. They are just a double snapdragon. You can see, looking closely at them, those petals are big and full, and you almost can't even see the center of the flower. Very different shape than your traditional snapdragon. Still insanely beautiful nonetheless. Had lots and lots of these red ones in my mix packet for whatever reason, but I'm not complaining. So of course the first thing I did was pick a whole bunch of them, and honestly I just like them how they look together in a vase by themselves. No arrangement needed. But that'd be a boring video. So we're going to add some mulberry branches, some of those watermelon sweet peas, and some of those bells of Ireland. And man, oh man, with just a few kind of simple flowers, different flowers, and a little bit of foliage, I mean, we are able to create something that is really pretty. I really liked the way this one turned out a lot. Not to mention those sweet peas. They smell so gorgeous. I brought this one inside, and the sweet peas were just scenting my entire house. Just really pretty. Over at the beginning of the season, I wasn't really sure if I liked the Madam Butterfly Snapdragons. Just, you know, I wasn't sure about them, but the more and more that I've used them and arranged flowers with them, the more I really know that, like, yeah, these are awesome. I really like these. The next arrangement, we're just going to start with some Chinese forget-me-nots, or the firmament forget-me-nots. You can see that they are going to seed, so I wanted to go ahead and use them one last time before they completely go to seed. Just going to use some mint and our snapdragons. Couldn't think of what they were called. Also, we have a little bit of oat grass. You can see kind of blowing in the wind as a filler in foliage. This one, it seems a little off balance. I need to move the Snapdragons around a little bit to kind of balance it out. But overall, I like the height that this offers, and I like the interesting array of kind of our green foliage parts. I think it looks really, really nice, and just with a little bit of tweaking, I think it will look exactly how I wanted. That's really about it for this video. As always, be sure to check the description down below. There are tons and tons of helpful links for you guys down there. Thank you so much. I hope you are having an incredible day. Bye, guys.